Okay, guys. So today, I just really want to talk about Spider-Man PS4, the one that's coming out in September. Um, Basically, this video is pretty much going to be about like who is actually the main villain. Now, as we've seen, Mr. Negative, he plays, not too big of a part, but I mean, he's in the main, trailer for the game. There's Fisk, there's Norman Osborn, and yeah. You mean, if I missed someone, then sorry, but I mean, I don't know if I did miss anyone. Probably didn't. But I mean, that's pretty much most of the villains that we've actually seen in the trailer so far. And of course, a lot of stuff is around Mr. Negative, but he is said to not be the main villain of the game. And from stuff here, especially with the little demo that we had earlier this year, I think he's just going to be at the beginning of the game or maybe the end or something. Because I think, of course, you see some of Fisk's guys or something. I know, of course, you see some of like Mr. Negative's guys, but I mean, like I said, he's probably just at the beginning of the game, maybe a mission or two, maybe three to get you introduced to get who the character is. Because we mainly don't get to really see Mr. Negative as a villain in video games, and if he has before, I haven't noticed it. I've played a lot of the Spider-Man video games, and I don't really think I've actually seen him in the actual game. But a lot of times, people don't usually put them in video games because they think they're not going to sell too well or because they're not popular at the moment. But that's a lot of reasons that people suspect that Venom will actually be the main villain of this game. I really don't want it to be, because he's been the main villain of like 3 games. I think like Ultimate Spider-Man and Spider-Man 3 and what's the other one? Web of Shadows. Which is probably why, the public are kind of, well, not done with, but are kind of sick of actually seeing Venom as the main villain in the game, and it's been played out, especially me. I really think it's been played out, and Mr. Negative will actually be more of a fresh start. He actually may be the main villain of the game. We don't know. They could just be saying that he's not, but who knows? But it really would be a good fresh start. And not just Mr. Negative. Some people honestly think that Green Goblin will actually be the main villain, but of course we've seen him a few times throughout the series. The main times, at least the times that I actually remember actually seeing the Green Goblin as like a villain in any game, is like Spider-Man 1 or Spider-Man 3 with New Goblin, with Harry's character. I mean, honestly, that's mainly, at least the times that I remember actually seeing them, and their flying mechanics weren't really all there. Oh, and also in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Harry as well, but that was bad. But the Green Goblin in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 really didn't hit home like I think they wanted it to, because Norman wasn't even the first Green Goblin, and they just skipped to Harry actually being the Green Goblin. But his design was pretty bad. I don't think anyone liked it. And I mean, the fight scenes were cool, but I think that's all they had really, because it was just really bad. But as you see in the trailer, Miles Morales is already introduced, and that's why I think that Green Goblin will actually be the main villain in the game. And I think that they're gonna lead all the way up to Spider-Man's death, because he's not a rookie. He's probably in his mid to late 20s by now. He's been Spider-Man for a while, and maybe it's time for Miles Morales to actually take the mantle. And I think it's really plausible. I really think it's probably going to happen. Now, just like Spider-Man didn't know that the guy is Mr. Negative, he might not know that Norman is actually Green Goblin, at least at the beginning or something. I don't know. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But I really do think that he's going to be the main villain of the game. It's kind of what fits. I mean, you could say Sandman, but Sandman, I mean, just dashing water on him, he'll be out for maybe like a day and a half or something, but he'll come back, But the Green Goblin, especially the ultimate type of Green Goblin, he's kind of hulkish. I mean, you can't just get rid of him. He's gone crazy. He's super strong. And this type of Green Goblin, this version, he can actually use fire. I mean, he actually looks like an actual goblin, and I really do think that they'll add him in the game. It'll really bring a good change to something, especially with all the tie-ins to the movies. And by saying that, of course, the game is not connected to the MCU, but you do notice, I think, that the Avengers Tower is there, and of course the Wakandan embassy is there. So I mean, it's got, some stuff already, happening. I think, of course, Wakanda is already, founded. They already know about Black Panther. Maybe we'll see him a little bit in the game. We don't know. Maybe the Avengers a little bit. We don't know. And I like that we don't know, because it really adds the wonder to it, because just knowing who the villain is right off the bat will really spoil the game before it even came out, especially since we already know the first like 3 costumes that we can actually get for Spider-Man, and it's kind of boring at that point. But the fact that they actually have the Iron Spider, like the Infinity War version, is kind of cool. So it might tie into the movies a little bit, but maybe, of course, not, exactly. Maybe not exactly. But it does make you think, who all will we actually see in the video game? Because in past video games, we've seen people like Power Man, aka Luke Cage. We always sometimes see a constant Black Cat, and I'm kind of tired of her, especially since, Mary Jane is right here. I mean, yeah. But, we see a lot of people. And who's all really going to be in the game? What villains, what heroes? I really hope it's really a big cast. I really do hope they play into it. But I'm also getting tired of Lizard. I'm getting tired of Electro. I mean, we haven't really seen too much of Electro, but the Amazing Spider-Man 2 kind of ruined it, and he wasn't good at all in the gameplay. I've been tired of Venom in video games. We know how he works. I hope they don't do a black suit Spider-Man. I hope they just do, of course, some other type of costume. Well, I mean, if it's a skin, all right. But if it's like the whole mechanics of the black suit, I don't want that. But we have to hope for the best, because I mean, Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. And I mean, I know that the game is made by Insomniac Games, and to me, they're like one of the only people that can go toe to toe with Naughty Dog, at least. I mean, of course, by the years, we haven't seen too much that can really prove that way, Insomniac Games. But with this game, to have them take it on, that's evidence enough that they can do it. It really is. I love Naughty Dog and Insomniac. But who do you think will actually be the main villain of Spider-Man on the PS4 platform? Tell me in the comments down below. Like the video, subscribe to my channel. And the next Spider-Man video will probably be about why I hate a certain company that makes the past Spider-Man games, the ones that we really hate. But yeah, see you guys later.